Hello viewers, today I am going to tell you about the biography of the greatest sitar maestro of the last 7 decades, Pandit Ravi Shankar. His name has become synonym to sitar. He has been described as the best known contemporary Indian musician. In fact, he was such an Indian musician who became an international figure. When he left the world for his heavenly abode in the recent past, the music lovers all over the world mourned his death. It was he who took the sitar to international platform and acquainted the world with Indian classical music through his wonderful performances. His association with the violinist Yehudi Menuhin and the rock artist George Harrison of the Beatles, and their combined performances helped in increasing the popularity of Indian music all over the world. He had been conferred with Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, and the highest civilian honor to any artist, Bharat Ratna. He was such a Bharat Ratna, that is jewel of India, who had been honored by music lovers, musicians, musicologists all over the world and received the highest international Grammy Award 3 times and made India proud. Let's be proud to know much more about Pandit Ravi Shankar. First, listen to the sitar recital of Pandit Ravi Shankar. let's know about his background and early life. Pandit Ravi Shankar was born on April 7, 1920 in Banaras, Varanasi in Uttar Pradesh, which is the holy city and one of the oldest cities in India. His father Shyama Shankar and mother Himangini Devi were Bengali Brahmins. They were from the village Kalia in Jaisar district, now in eastern Pakistan. His father Shyama Shankar was a great Pandit in Sanskrit and philosophy and had studied Veds and Vedic hymns and had learned to sing Dhrupad. Ravi Shankar was the youngest of his brothers Uday, Rajendra, Dibendra and Bhupendra. Bhupendra who had died very early. When Ravi Shankar was very young, his father went to London to practice law. His eldest brother Uday Shankar also went along with his father to study arts at the Royal College of Arts. Ravi Shankar also learned to appreciate Indian tradition, culture and many secrets of good stage performance from Uday Shankar. These were of great help in his later life. In 1938, Uday Shankar founded the great cultural center at Almora in India and brought the best known Indian musicians and artists from all over India. In their company, Ravi Shankar became able to play the instruments like sitar, israj and even sarod to accompany the dances. He was attracted more towards sitar because he was a great admirer of Vishnudas Shirali, an eminent sitarist and director of Uday Shankar's musical troupe. He was also inspired by Timir Baran's sitar playing in the troupe. He came into contact with Ustad Alauddin Khan when he had joined Uday Shankar's troupe for tour to Europe. Alauddin Khan stayed there with the troupe for almost 1 year. During that period, Alauddin taught him the basics of sitar and voice. But Alauddin Khan got upset to see Ravi Shankar's inclination toward dance and his other varied interests like painting, writing and reading. Baba Alauddin Khan advised Ravi Shankar, "Ek sadhe sab sadhe sab jaye," which means if you do one thing properly, then all other things will come easier later. But if you start with so many things, you end up with nothing. By the time Ravi Shankar returned from his European troupe or European tour, his parents had died. He gave up his dancing career in 1938 and made up his mind to have training in sitar playing under the court musician of Meher, Ustad Alauddin Khan. Now let's know in detail about his training in Meher. It was in 1938 when Pandit Ravi Shankar approached Ustad Alauddin Khan in Meher, a small village in Madhya Pradesh. In the initial days, it was very difficult for Ravi Shankar to stay in a small, quiet and simple town after living a glittering and luxurious life of Europe. He had to live there under the very strict discipline, harsh temper of Ustad Alauddin Khan and his strictness to follow hours of daily practice. It really took a few months to Ravi Shankar to be accustomed to the quiet, strict and disciplined life with Ustad Alauddin Khan. Initially, Ravi Shankar was taught alone, but after practice of several years, he was made to sit with Alauddin Khan's son Ali Akbar on Sarod and his daughter Annapurna Devi on Surbahar, while Alauddin Khan used to teach them singing himself. All the three of them learned together the rags like Lalit, Multani, Yaman Kalyan, Bihag, Miyan Ki Malhar, Darbari, etc. After sufficient training, Ravi Shankar was made to sit on stage accompanying on Tanpura during Ustad Alauddin Khan's performances. This too was a part of his training on stage. Pandit Ravi Shankar's debut performance was a Jugalbandi, that is duet, with Ali Akbar in Allahabad Music Conference in December 1939. After that, he performed in All India Radio Lucknow, and his sitar recital was broadcasted twice a week about every 2 months. This happened until 1944, till he finished his training in Mehar. After that, Pandit Ravi Shankar shifted to Bombay to build a career of his own. In the meantime, in 1941, he was married to Alauddin Khan's daughter Annapurna Devi, and he had to make his own career. But in Bombay, the next few years of his life were full of struggle. Let's know in detail about his performing career. In Bombay, Pandit Ravi Shankar got a chance to compose music for films. He tried his idea of using Indian instruments and Indian classical and folk forms. This idea, which was later followed by many other music directors. In Bombay, in 1946-47, he got a chance to present a ballet on Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru's famous book, The Discovery of India, in the ancient conference in Delhi. He composed music for the song Sare Jahan Se Acha at the age of 25. He worked as a director of All India Radio, and he began to record for HMV India. Now about his international career. Pandit Ravi Shankar performed in Soviet Russia in 1954 as one of the members of the first Indian cultural delegation sent by the Government of India for cultural exchange program with the USSR. Ravi Shankar came into contact with a great Western musician, Yehudi Menuhin, in 1951. When Menuhin had visited India for his several concerts. He happened to hear Pandit Ravi Shankar's sitar and was very much influenced by Indian music. Later, in 1955, Yehudi Menuhin arranged a performance for Ravi Shankar in New York for the demonstration of Indian classical music, which was sponsored by Ford Foundation. But Ravi Shankar had to drop this due to some problems. He recommended Ali Akbar to play instead of him. Ali Akbar performed there in the accompaniment of tabla player Chaturlal in the Museum of Modern Art, and later became the first Indian classical musician to perform in American television and recorded for Angel Records. When Pandit Ravi Shankar heard about the positive response towards Indian music, he resigned from AIR in 1956 to tour United Kingdom, Germany, and the United States. Pandit Ravi Shankar participated in the celebration of the 10th anniversary of the United Nations and UNESCO celebration in Paris. From 1961, he toured Europe, the United States, and Australia and became the first Indian to compose music for non-Indian films. Pandit Chaturlal accompanied him on tabla until 1962. In 1966, Pandit Ravi Shankar performed on Commonwealth Festival. He performed the duet with Yehudi Menuhin, where he composed for Yehudi Menuhin. The composition was entitled Swar Kakili, based on Rag Tilang. Another composition based on the morning rags Gunkali was named Prabhati. In 1967, on the Day of Human Rights celebration at the United Nations, composition was based on Rag Pilu, which he played with Yehudi Menuhin and others. In 1960s, Pandit Ravi Shankar increased the popularity of Indian classical music in Europe and America through teaching, performances, and his association with the violinist Yehudi Menuhin and the rock artist George Harrison of the Beatles. George Harrison met Ravi Shankar in London in 1966 and later visited India with the aim to have the training in sitar from Ravi Shankar. During his visit, a documentary film on Ravi Shankar named Rag was shot by Howard Worth and was released in 1971. In 1967, Pandit Ravi Shankar performed at the Monterey Pop Festival with the tabla maestro Ustad Allah Rakha. Now about his playing style. The style of sitar Pandit Ravi Shankar developed was totally distinct from that of his contemporaries. His sitar playing had distinguished features like soft and captivating strokes, coupled with mead, kan, krintan, zamzama, laikari, ladgutav, and purity of rag forms. He incorporated the influences from rhythm practices of Carnatic music. The style of his performance was such that he used to begin with alap, jor, and chala, followed by slogat of Drupad style, and then the composition of prevalent khyal style in the accompaniment of tabla. He often ended his performances with a piece of light classical style inspired by Thumri. Listen to one of his recordings. awards and honors. As soon as Pandit Ravi Shankar was recognized by the world, he was showered with awards and honors when he was not even 40. He continued to receive awards till the end of his life. In 1957, he won the Silver Bear Extraordinary Award at Berlin International Film Festival for composing the music for the film Kabuliwala. In 1962, he was awarded with Sangeet Natak Academy Award and the highest honor by the Academy, Sangeet Natak Academy Fellowship, in 1975. He was awarded with Padma Bhushan in 1977 by the Government of India, Padma Vibhushan in 1991, the second highest civilian award ever given to an artist in his lifetime. In 1999, he was honored with the highest most award, Bharat Ratna. It is also worth mentioning that from 1986 to 1992, Pandit Ravi Shankar served as a nominated member of Rajya Sabha, that is Parliament, after being nominated by the then Indian Prime Minister Mr. Rajiv Gandhi. Pandit Ravi Shankar was such a Bharat Ratna, that is Jewel of India, who was showered with awards and honors all over the world. The prominent among those are UNESCO International Music Council Award in 1975, Fukuoka Asian Culture Prize in 1991, Raymond Magsaysay Award in 1992, Polar Music Prize in 1998. In 2001, Pandit Ravi Shankar was made an Honorary Knight Commander of the Order of the British Empire by Elizabeth II for his services to music. He was an honorary member of the American Academy of Arts and Letters. In 1997, he received the Praemium Imperiale for music from Japan Arts Association. He was also awarded France's highest civilian honor, the Knight of the Legion of Honor. He was honored with the highest international Grammy Award 3 times. He was the recipient of the Lifetime Achievement of Grammy Award. He was posthumously awarded 2 Grammy Awards in 2013, one for his lifetime achievements and another for his album The Living Room Sessions Part 1. He was the first recipient of the Tagore Award for his outstanding contribution to cultural harmony and universal values. Fourteen universities of the world awarded him the honorary degree of doctorate, including Universities of India, University of Melbourne, Australia, and the University of the United States. In fact, not he, but any award itself was honored in his hands. His life came to an end, but not the showers of awards and honors. Now about his contribution. Pandit Ravi Shankar brought changes in the strings of sitar. He introduced Laraj Katar, that is, a string to be tuned on the lower sharaj in sitar to suit his playing style. it became possible to play on sitar alap, jod of Been Ang with this new addition. He raised the standard of Indian orchestra by introducing some Western instruments in Indian Vadya Vrind, that is orchestra. His Vadya Vrind compositions were based on classical, semi-classical and folk music. However, the maximum compositions were classical based. These compositions are published in a book entitled Ravi Shankar Ke Orchestra in Hindi, published by Sangeet Karyalay Hathras, UP. Pandit Ravi Shankar composed music for the Bengali films Kavliwala and Pather Panchali, Hindi films Anuradha and Godan, and the English film The Flute and the Arrow, etc. He popularized the South Indian rags like Hansdhwani and Charukeshi in Northern Indian music. He himself created new rags named Mohankons, Tilkshyam, Bairagi, Rasya, Gangeshwari, Rageshwari, Prameshwari and Kameshwari. In 1962, he founded Kinnar School of Music in Mumbai and in 1967 opened a western branch of Kinnar School of Music in Los Angeles, California. In 1967, Pandit Ravi Shankar published an autobiography entitled My Music, My Life. This book describes a detailed information about sitar and about his own life. This book is of great value for the students, teachers and for the research scholars as well. He wrote the second biography, Ragmala, with George Harrison as editor. Now let's know about the disciples of Pandit Ravi Shankar. Pandit Ravi Shankar's disciples include Uma Shankar Mishra, Jaya Bose, Kartik Kumar, Shamim Ahmed, Shankar Ghosh, Gopal Krishna, Surinder Datta and Vinay Kumar Aggarwal. Except his large number of disciples from India, there are a number of his disciples from abroad. The most prominent among those is Western Beatle singer George Harrison. About his personal life. As stated earlier, Pandit Ravi Shankar was married to Ustad Alauddin Khan's daughter Annapurna Devi in 1941 while taking training from him. His son Shubhendra was born in 1942. Ravi Shankar separated from his wife in late 1940s and was married again to Kamla Shastri, a dancer. He separated from her too in 1981. Pandit Ravi Shankar's talented daughter Anushka Shankar was born to his another wife Sukanya. His son Shubhendra often accompanied his father on tours, but he did not pursue his career as a musician. He died in 1992. However, Pandit Ravi Shankar's daughter Anushka is very talented sitarist. She performed with her father as well as solo performances too. She too was nominated for a Grammy Award for the Best Word Album in 2003. In 2013, Anushka and her father both were nominated for their separate albums in the same category for Grammy Awards. Pandit Ravi Shankar performed till the end of his life. He performed his last concert on November 4th, 2012 at Terrence Theatre in Long Beach, California, just a month before his death, and that too at the age of 92 years. He died on December 12, 2012 at a hospital near his home in Encinitas, California, suffering from upper respiratory and heart issues. Pandit Ravi Shankar was a legend in music field who took the Indian classical music to such a height at international platform where every Indian can look at with a great pride. He will remain a torch bearer for the generations to come. To sum up today's lecture, we can say that Pandit Ravi Shankar, the leading sitar player of the 20th century, was basically a dancer in the dance troupe of his brother, Pandit Uday Shankar. After becoming the disciple of Ustad Alauddin Khan of Mehar, he rose to a wonderful sitar player. His sitar playing had distinguished features like soft and captivating strokes, coupled with meend, kam, zamzama, krintan, laikari, ladguthal, and purity of rag forms. It was he who took the sitar to international platform and acquainted the world with Indian music through his performances. He had been honored by the music lovers, musicians, musicologists throughout the world. He was an international figure who received the highest Grammy Award 3 times. He had made India proud throughout the world. I am extremely thankful for the rare photographs and about the other mentions which I have taken from his book, My Music, My Life. Thank you.